wins the Monday night group. I can only hope I'm sounding half as KK6.
All right, Jeff. No, you're pounding in. It's nice and clear too. So very good from Chino. I think you're the closest word of anyone in the group. I think so. I think Chino's closer than Santa Monica. I don't know, but it sure is good past RFY. Very good. Okay, Andy, out there in the middle of nowhere, which is, wonder how the weather is out there. KD6 TKX, Andy, how are things tonight? KF6SYD.
KF6SYD and the Monday night AMI net, KD6TKX. Well, hello, Steve and everybody else. Great signals here. Good to hear YRJ. It's been a while. And yeah, the band is really cleared out nicely, so everyone's just pounding in here. This is Andy. I'm located at Curry Mountain, which is about 100 miles southeast of Monterey, out here at the southern tip of the Diablo Mountain Range at the Radio Ranch. And it's a little overcast, it's been rainy, but it looks like a little bit like Ireland out here. It's so green, it's amazing. With all the rain that we've gotten, it's kind of fun. And everything's turned out good. We've had a lot of weather this winter, but antennas have stayed up and no other problems really. So it's been great, and I'm grateful for that. Last week, family was blessed with my first grandchild. So I have a grandson, and I was there for most of it, or for the parts that are appropriate for Grandpa to be there. But it was really exciting. Glad everybody's doing good. And yeah, so I've already started whispering in his ear about you need to learn Morse code and start some early programs to get him on board. I have two daughters, and both of them I almost got him into ham radio, but not quite. So I think I'm going to start earlier with the grandson here, see what happens. My AMI number, which I have now, thanks to John, is 1845. And the rig tonight is a Collins KW1 transmitter, serial number 96, and a 75A4 receiver. And the antenna, which withstood all these storms, is resonant fan dipole for 160, 75, and 40 that my friend Jeff, WB6ZBX, designed. So I appreciate his willingness to help me put this one together. Sure has worked out good, especially compared to my old antenna systems, which are not even worth mentioning. No swap, no roundtable, but it's great to hear everyone with nice signals tonight. And Ron, thank you for taking the earlies. And Steve, as always, great job taking the net, and thank you for doing that. KF6SYD, KD6TKX.
All right, Andy, congratulations. I assume from the tone of your voice and attitude that everything went well, and you've got a new grandson. And you're a grandfather now, so very good. That's a good thing. And maybe if you can, I don't know how to give somebody else a ham radio bug, but you might be able to. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. And good on the number. And KW1 sounds very nice tonight, very strong. Next up, Art. WA6IPD. Art, it's your turn. Go ahead.
The youngest is 30 years old, and the oldest is in her mid-40s. And I have three. I have three great grandchildren. And anyway, I wanted to say that earlier we had a single sideband station in there, giving everybody a terrible time. And I was having great difficulty. And then Steve, SYD, came on, and he just wiped them out. He destroyed them. I think after Steve was on for a little bit, they decided that maybe there's a better frequency to operate on. Anyway, the handle is on. I'm in Clover, AMI number 63. My transmitter is Allied Radio T1 to 1500 watts, using a D104 Silver Eagle Telstar G5 RV at 50 feet. And my receiver's a Lafayette HE10. No round table, nothing to swap. So I'll say 73 next week.
Real good, Art. And all I can say is that we appreciate having the frequency so that we can do this a couple of times a week. And thanks for letting us have a clear channel for a little while. And real good, Art, everything, and all the family and the grandchildren and the great-grandchildren. I think, if I'm lucky and live long enough, I'll have all that too someday. But yeah, great signal and good to hear you, Art. Next up, WA6JKN. Kevin, it's your turn. Go ahead.
Okay, Steve, thank you very much. Good signal tonight. I'm hearing everybody so far. Very, very good signals here. Congratulations are in order for Andy there. Grandpa. Yeah, that's boy, you're going to have lots of fun. I know I have. I remember Diane brought home a plaque many years ago. It said, if I knew grandchildren would have been this much fun, I would have had them first. So there you go. Now you know what you're getting into. It's just fun, fun, fun. Yep. Yeah, it's nice not to be in the parent role, just the grandpa role. That's the difference right there. Okay. Let's see. I don't really have anything to report. All is pretty much the same. Been up there. Excuse me. I have my KW1 parked up there on 10 meters. Been working across the pond with other KW1s. A lot of fun doing that. It's what we used to do in the old days. Now that propagation has been so good, we're back. So let's see what else. Yeah, just pretty much the higher bands, 10, 12, 15, 17 meters. It's really something. It's absolutely amazing. And when you see the cluster spots show up on the spectrum scope, and you get to see literally hundreds upon hundreds of foreign stations being displayed on the spectrum scope, it blows your mind. It blows my mind. It may not blow your mind, but it blows my mind to be able to see their call signs, where they're located. It gives you the beam heading where you have to point your beam, and that's the only thing I haven't done with my automation on my automatic rotator is to harvest that data, and it will automatically rotate the hex beam. It's only really needed for remote operations. I don't really need it for any other time. So that's another project that I'll be working on, hopefully sooner than later. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The weather's been good, at least for the past couple of days. A little sprinkles the other day, but the ground's starting to dry up a little bit. All of the companies that handle fallen trees, they're out there cutting them up. All the trees I see over my back fence at the park there, all the trees that fell over, they've got them all chopped up. The ones that fell over in the school, that was a sight to see. This big, I don't know what kind of tree it was, big tree fell in the playground area of El Roble School. Was it called El Roble? I think so. Can you imagine that happening when the kids are out there playing? Well, it wouldn't be, because it happened during the storm. So thank goodness Mother Nature had perfect timing to make sure there was no kids around. All right, well that's it. Go ahead and put me down for the round table. I think I might do a round or so. Back over to you, Steve. Thank you for taking the net, and also to Ron for doing the earlies. And I want to mention to you, Steve, I thought I mentioned this to you before. All you had to do is put a .01 microfarad capacitor across your speaker, and that squeal will disappear. You got to have something to shut out that RF. So just a .01 capacitor, it's like pennies on the dollar. Back to you, sir. KF6SYD, WA6JKN.
Yeah, I was thinking about, I couldn't remember. And these new speakers are kind of tinny sounding. I might go back to the old ones and do that. Thanks, Kevin. I wanted to know that. I knew it was simple. I just knew I couldn't remember what it was. All right. Real good on the trees getting cut up. And I got you for the round table. You're the first person to be on for the round table. There's something else. Oh yeah, we're gonna get storm tonight. About midnight. It's gonna rain for about day or day and a half after midnight tonight. And then there's another one out there for next week. It's just a storm every week. And it really not tearing up too much. Boy, it sure is nice to get all this rain at a rate that we can handle. Most people can handle. And what a blessing. Okay, next Skip, K6LGL in Santa Monica, KF6SYD calling.
Good evening to all San Diego AMI Monday night gatherers and enthusiasts. K6LGL, Skip in Santa Monica. I'm on my suitcase, plate modulator suitcase that was put out in 1955 by the Benton Harbor organization. They're known as the DX100 modified internally considerably neutralized and self-standing and all that stuff. D104 microphone into a homebrew generation old now dipole that I put up about a generation ago there. Last century sometime. Remember, but it's still up, luckily. Oh, good to hear. N5YRJ back on the air. It's been a long time, Steve. Glad to know you're still kicking and still going and fine on the sun, graduating and all this sort of stuff. Good news. Congratulations to Andy, Grandpa. I had my second town, I think it was last year, later last year. My first granddaughter, so kind of interesting. On my daughter's side, up there in Northern California. Well, good hearing, strong signals. Ken, your the triangular loop seems to be working quite good from what I could tell. So maybe an improvement on the dipole a bit and probably helps a little bit with the noise. No, I think I'll skip the roundtable tonight. There are a few things we got to finish. We got dark clouds are slowly headed east. And I think that storm that you were talking about, Steve, yeah, that'll show up. That'll show up here before it gets to you. So maybe before midnight here. But a lot of moisture. That Pineapple Express is generating a lot of moisture that's coming in from here to Hawaiian Islands and merging with the storm patterns from Alaska, and it's producing an awful lot of moisture. So we'll see what happens. I'm just worried by the time the snow starts moving in the Sierras and the other local mountains, and may get some flooding. Especially the west-facing river from the Sierras. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, sometimes we wish for a lot of moisture, and boy, we're getting it's going to be a record year. And I understand that Lake Mead is about 29% higher than it was last year. It's still a long way to go, but if the snowpack in the Rockies, especially the western Rockies, melts And they put a little bit there into the big dam, and then as they open up, it'll flow down the Grand Canyon and eventually make it into Lake Mead, which I think would be a good thing for everybody. All right. Back to you there, Steve. Thanks for doing the net. Sounding great. And I see my phone trees now. So over to net control station. We'll see you, on the AMI. We've decided we'll start at 7, and then the AMI Wednesday net, the Cyclone AMI net will start at 8. So that was the decision made by the members. So we'll see how that goes. It may get changed back to 7, but right now it'll be an hour later. So, KF6SYD. Very good evening from K6 Little Green Light.
Alright, Skip. Yeah, that's how we left it. You start at 7 and the net starts at 8. Well, I don't... Some people were really strong about it. I really wanted it at 7 o'clock. And then there's another group that just... It has to be at 8. So I felt bad for... Well, either way it went, I felt bad. But it was... and now I'm going to see if I can get Sharon talked into running it on Wednesday. Because you could tell she's a little disappointed last week. So I'll call her on the phone and see if she wants to do it. I hope so. Right. See you then. Next up, Bob, WA9JIB. It's your turn, Bob. Go ahead.
Okay. KF6SYD and San Diego AMI Group, WA9JIB. Bob over here in La Cañada, where again, yeah, misty, slightly wet, cool, all that good stuff. Yeah, it's supposed to rain, I think, the next 2 days here. Boy, this is crazy. This is really a crazy year. Anyway, the name is Bob, Bravo, Oscar, Bravo. I'm in La Cañada, just north of Glendale, a little northwest of Pasadena, on the foothills of the San Gabriels, where we tend to get even more rain than we get in downtown LA. I don't know what we're up to. I think over 30 inches for this year up here. So, pretty wild. Running my usual AM station. Oh yeah, and congrats to everybody. Third harmonics coming along. I guess that's got to be a thrill. So, let's see, yeah. I start out with a D104 microphone. I go into my Johnson Viking Valiant, and there I go up to my antenna, which is a dipole. The inverted V hanging off a 35-foot mast. And the receiver is the Hammerman HQ129 X-ray. I hear that Viking 500 on I always want to hear Larson Night Clip. I got to get mine on the air one of these days too. As you well know, Skip, we talked about that. So let's see. No buy-sell swap for me. No AMI number. I wasn't going to stay on the round table, but Kevin's going to be there. I don't want him to be lonely. And I rotated the stack Rhombics in his direction, so I might as well hang out for a little while. So other than that, let's see, had a fun and busy weekend. I don't have any train. That's what the guys on Friday night do a deal with that. Play trains, like we're little kids again. And we are, except on the outside. And Saturday, my band played at the event party. Wasn't real big, but played lots of Irish songs and stuff like that. Some of our originals, and I got to play, besides guitar, harmonica, and banjo. So that was a lot of fun too. And yesterday was the book fair at the Glendale Civic Auditorium. I'm sure I always do. We had a lot of fun there. So the weekend was crammed with fun activities. Glad to get back to the work week so I can take it a little bit easy. You know how that goes. So yeah, affirmative on the round table for me, Steve. And thanks, Skip, for the reminder about 8 p.m. on Wednesday. Otherwise, I would have forgotten it. So Anyway, back over to Ned. KF6SYD, WA9JID.
Sorry, Bob. Real good on everything. The trains, which I got to see when you let me visit your home a while back. I should have taken pictures of that. I didn't. That's silly. I could have showed Julie. Showed. Grammar. And the gig and the variety of instruments and book fair with Cherie. And I'm glad she's doing good. So, very good. Got you for the round table along with Kevin. And let's go back easterly direction a little way. George, W8 Victor Golf. Glad you could jump in with us. Go ahead, it's your turn.
Thanks so much, Steve. KF6SYD and the AMI group here tonight. W8 Victor Golf. George here in Oro Valley, north of Tucson. And I'm running all the same stuff I usually have here. There we go. 813s, modulated by 813s, listening on an R390, not an A. And the antennas and the inverted V fed with open wire down here to a homebrew link tuner. Yeah, Steve, I was all ready to get in here and get in on the earlies, and the phone rang. It was my son in Nashville, so we chatted a little bit, and next thing I know, I was late. So sorry to have missed it. Mississippi, YRJ, yeah, I haven't talked to him in the dog's age, but I understand he was in here a little bit earlier. And maybe I'll catch him one of these days up on 40 again. But anyways, not doing too much here, Steve. I'm still playing with this RF deck. I got it running on 10, and it's it still needs some work, but we've been making contacts on it and not finishing. So I got to work on that. Was on 40 a little bit today with one of my old Valiants, checking it out to see if it still works. So we're doing a little bit of radioing, but not a whole lot. Busy with other projects. Weather here has been nice. It's warmed up again and dried out, and we're back up in I think it was 75 today. So it won't be long before we'll be complaining about hot weather and being in Arizona and all that stuff. Anyways, my AMI number, I've only got one of them, is 1814. And nothing to swap or trade or sell or anything like that. Got a bunch of junk I'm working on, but nothing I want to move out. And I won't hang around for the round table. Won't be on the round table, but I might hang around here for a little bit and listen before I go in and call it a night. Anyways, thanks so much for running the net this evening. Great job. And Ron, I missed you, but thanks for taking the earlies. I'm sure you were in there. So back over to you, Steve. KF6SYD at W8 Victor Golf.
Yeah, Ron was here. Great transmission, George. And real good on having too much fun with the new RF deck to finish it. Well, you'll finish it someday when you're doing the right thing. All right. And I've got W7LTG. Francesca, I wonder if you're still buried under snow or if some of it's gone away by now. Go ahead and take your turn.
Okay, Steve, very good. W7LTG, they'll snow here. There's some mountaintops, maybe up about 6,000 feet. I'm at almost 4,800 feet here in Spanish Springs, 20 miles north of Reno. In the old Pyramid Highway, we're about 10 miles from the Pyramid Lake. Yeah, look it up, the big old Pyramid Rock there. And this town was meant to have the Wells Fargo old trail. They're still there. That was the only thing. It had a watering hole, and they called it Spanish Springs. It had a lot of water in that hole. Now, water always fills up. Even though they built over it, it still floods there in that part of the town. Anyway, we're about 4 minutes away from downtown Spanish Springs. Very small little place, anyway. And I'm on this is W7LTG. I'm on the AMI number, 1774. I'm on the Johnson Valiant, 150 watts out. I think it's peaking at 400 watts when transmitting. The receiver, I have two receivers going, and the call is 7583, and with a 6 kC filter I put in there. Sound really good. And I also have the Helicrafter S85 as to see how you guys sound on there on long wire. And it sounds good. It's a great receiver, S85. It doesn't have the meter in it. If it has an X85, it would have a little more bells and whistles. But anyway, got this. It works really well. It was well replaced. It actually looks like brand new. The outside is brand new. Scratch on it. I got working on the SX24. I had put 5 caps so far. I got more caps to put in there. And it has the filter capacitor has been replaced with no more hum, just not receiving. Anyway, that's an ongoing project. I'm taking my time on it. I don't have time. I belly dance for Reno Ballroom. I teach that, and been busy dancing a lot. So, and going to other events where spread out the word. So that's what I've been doing. Not too much on the radio. Just in the morning at 9 o'clock and 7 o'clock. 7185 on 40 meters called the Cracker Barrel. That's the only nets I support on for sideband, and then of course the Swan net. I kind of like that. Love my Swans. I have a Swan 350, 500, and a 700. The 700 does really well. I can't believe it. The 350 it came with 8950 tubes, and I tell you what, it's putting out 300 watts on the 350. Amazing. So I got that out of San Jose. It was given to me, and I had to do a little work to it, but got it working, and it works really good. I just don't like the backward S meter on this 350. Not used to that. That's about it, Steve. No swap, no round table. Just want to say hi to everybody. You guys sounding good tonight. Hope the conditions be better for a while like this. I'm going to send it back to you, Steve. Have a good day from W7LTG, if you can hear me.
All right. Real good on everything. Glad you're not messed up with the snow anymore. Real good on everything. That's the end of the list as I have it for the net. Are there any stations that want to check in before we close the net? Please call now.
NA 7H as usual.
Yeah, what you have to do. Bob, how you doing? Go ahead and take your turn.
Sorry, Steve. I was in the midst of dinner and some other things here, but finally got around to trying to check in. Heard George really strongly a few minutes ago, so everyone's coming in very nicely this evening, and I've been listening off and on. K06SYD in the net. This is November Alpha 7 Radio Hotel on the old Sweet Tube Special. An 8236 actually in the final, modulated by 4 1625s and parallel push pull, and homebrew that I built in the 60s. So let's see, and also swell box for the audio, and a good antenna and the front hub dipole, and I have an old Nightkit R55 that I've been listening on off and on. So, but right now I'm listening on the Nightkit. Okay, nothing to swap, no round table. Just checking in to say hello and see what's going on with the net this evening. Hopefully you people will send us some more rain. We could still, I could use a little more rain on my lawn, but not on my weeds. There's a crop growing pretty good, but I'll take that just so I can keep my grass. Anyway, back to you, Steve. KF6SYD, NA7H.
Okay, Bob. Glad you're able to sneak in here toward the end. Good to hear you. Sounding good on the homebrew. The Sweep Tube Special. Are there any other stations that want to check in before we close the net? Please call now. All right. Very good. This was great. Great group, good band conditions, and had a lot of fun. Thanks for participating in the net tonight, everyone. And there's a small round table. WA6JK and Kevin, and Bob, WA9JIB. They're waiting dinner on me. I'm going to go down so that we can all eat together. And really should eat earlier, but there's a bunch of stuff broken. I was fixing it and we didn't. It's all my fault. But try again on Wednesday. Kevin, over to you. And good evening, everyone. KF6SYD.
WA6JUS, if you could wait.